Welcome back, everyone, to Engadget's 2021 CES virtual stage. I'm reviews editor Cherlynn Low, and if you've been watching all day, wow, thank you so much. This has been a long day, and this is day two of CES. This is the last panel of the day, and I am here to talk about home fitness tech in 2021 with two really great guests. I'm excited to welcome first. We have Jim Barr, CEO of Nautilus. Hello, Jim.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And also we have Chris Stadler, the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of Tonal. Hi, Chris, welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Of course. It's great to see you guys. Now, I just want to kind of give our viewer a little bit of background. Obviously, 2020, we were all stuck at home, and home fitness tech just exploded in popularity. I could name a lot of stats, but just today alone, I received news in my inbox that Jay-Z and Pitbull invested in a company that would be making home climbing machines. I just think that that's a sign of how much interest there is in this space. Not to mention there are celebrity workout apps. Chris Hemsworth has one, Cult Center. Apple launched Fitness Plus. There's so much interest in home fitness, and I'm sure you as a viewer at home are interested too to find out how you can build out a home gym regardless of the type of space that you have. And who better, right, than Nautilus and Tonal to tell us more about it. So let's start with you, Jim, because I want to understand. Jim, I know Nautilus has been around for so long. Bowflex's products have been on the market forever. What has the last year been like for you? Have you seen adoption of your products change at all?
Oh, absolutely. As you mentioned, we've been around for 40 years. We've been focused on, I guess you'd call it more traditional, just making the equipment. Although we had started a transformation towards connected fitness. And of course, what happened even before the pandemic is we were betting more on connected fitness because it's such a great way to connect people, to monitor how they're making progress, to entertain them, to do all sorts of things that the traditional equipment doesn't do. So we're already headed in that direction. And then obviously what happened over this period of time is, I'll call it forced trial. People stuck at home, not able to go to the gym, rediscovering the convenience of working out at home, or discovering for the first time if they were 100% gym goers. So that's been part of it. And then connected fitness, when you look to replace many of the things that you had in your gym experience, connected fitness can do that, whether it's coaching, whether it's trainer-led videos, whether it's being entertained while being trained, all of those types of things. I think people were forced to try that maybe earlier than they would, and they really liked it. And now, going forward, I think they'll balance working out at home and working out in the gym differently if they're not just staying at home. As many as 25% of people are telling us still that they're never going back to the gym, and then the rest that they'll balance it in a new normal between the gym and at home. But of course, because you're not commuting anymore, at home is a bigger part of it.
I fully agree. I mean, I made the bad decision, I think, late 2019 to get rid of the free weights that I had at home. I only had two 5-pounders at home, so that's not that much and not the most sophisticated system. But got rid of them, and then 2020 happened, and I was like, well, I really could use some weights right now. Can you tell me a little bit more about Bowflex's products and what sort of, and you said the connected products especially, let's focus on that for our viewers. What are some of these devices available for the home user if they're looking to start with a basic kit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you did mention the dumbbells, which have been like as important as toilet paper in the pandemic, and our select techs that dial up in weight from 5 all the way to 52 pounds. They also help consumers with a space problem that they had. Normally you start buying home equipment when you've got a new room or someone went to college, you have some change in your life as a trigger event. These days, it's you're working out, you're raising your kids, you're transacting business all at home, and so space is a big constraint. So on the strength side, it's been what you're showing there. Both our dumbbells and our barbells are what you're showing there. That's a new product that also dials up and saves space. In terms of cardio, though, we introduced the new VeloCore bike. So bikes have continued to be hot. I think we thank Peloton for that at the beginning, but then we've glommed onto that as well. And so we've introduced the first unstationary bike where you've got, there you're looking at it there, where you can lean back and forth. That's innovative. All our new products, whether they're bikes, they're treads, or any of or our Max Trainer, they all have screens and run our Journey connected fitness platform, which allows you to do all the great things related to connected fitness. And we've seen the entire portfolio be hot for the entire time.
This is the stuff that I think most people are familiar with. These are the types of gear you would go to a gym and expect to see. But then there's something a little bit more, I think, new and maybe fresh. And not that Tonal hasn't been around for a while. I know Tonal, you have been around, but relatively newer to the scene. Chris, do you want to kind of walk us through what the concept behind Tonal is?
Absolutely. We've been in development for over 5 years. We've been on the market for 1.5 years, so fairly new. And we are the world's smartest home gym. And basically, the new technology that is the big unlock is revolutionary digital weights. And that, combined with personalized expert coaching, helps you get stronger faster. And our business is on fire. We've grown 800% in 2020. The pandemic certainly helped, but we believe that ignited a lot of interest that was already there. So people certainly experienced the benefits of convenience of not having to go to the gym, but we've really doubled down on intelligence. And so we create a very, very personalized workout that's tailor-made for you that you can't get anywhere else. We have a 90% market share in connected strength and are really first mover advantage and are the leader in the category.
Right. So Tonal is something I've been meaning to try, and I've taken a demo before earlier when we were going outside. And one of the reasons I didn't make my own move to buy something like Tonal or even Nearer, which is another sort of somewhat similar product, but not exactly the same. These sorts of products are something that I personally keep from buying because I live in a small apartment, right? And there's a lot of city dwellers like me that may be intimidated by the idea of installation or just don't have the room for, something that looks a little bulkier like that compared to just free weights. So Chris, what are you thinking in terms of Tonal? Is there anything you would say to people who are thinking, I don't have the space or the installation rights for this? My landlord would be too upset if I tried to install this.
Well, you hit on precisely two of the points that we believe that Tonal addresses, especially for folks with small spaces like apartments. First of all, most traditional weightlifting equipment is big and bulky. It gets relegated to the garage or the basement where it's not used and collects dust. We've been able to compact a bunch of basically every exercise and piece of workout equipment in the gym into something that's very elegant, very strong design that fits seamlessly into your home. So you hang it on a wall. It takes up no more space than a flat screen TV and gives you all the benefits of traditional equipment.
Cool. So, like you said, Jim, too, connected weights are a thing. And I think, Chris, you also mentioned that part of your product, the important thing is that you have these personalized workouts. And I've noted over the last year, too, not that they haven't been around before, but this idea of workout, like the Netflix of workout, right? Wondersize is one of the companies that is unveiling a new feature here at CES 2021 where they are able to not only give you guides on what they want you to do, but also start to notice whether your form is good, right? For example, Samsung in its health app for its TVs also unveiled a new smart trainer feature. I've spoken with a few people in the industry, and it feels like some feature like this has either existed in some form. I understand Bowflex does some rep counting with some of your devices, and then form analysis and form assessment has also sort of existed. But how close do you think we are to a state in the industry where our fitness devices can tell we're working out right? Let's start with you, Jim. What do you think?
Sure. I don't think we're that far off. I think personalization is the right thing. And both of us talking about it is, there's so much content out there. I think even your cable company is making fitness videos these days. So there's a lot of commodity out there. So curation is super important. So start with that in the trainer-led videos, finding the ones that are right for you, finding the instructors that are right for you. That's what we do in our Journey app is a lot of in our Journey fitness platform is to really curate that. And we also have an adaptive workout, meaning it's hyper personalized. No one else in the world, you're given, after you've done a 5-minute fitness assessment, you're given a workout that no one else in the world has. It's unique to you. And then as you make progress, it adjusts so that every time you get on one of our machines, you get something that's just for you. And then the coaching that goes along with that is just for you as well. So we're all around especially in the cardio area, around that personalized experience. And we're looking to bring it even more into strength. Tonal's done a great job. We like to believe we've got a legacy in strength. When you think of the brand Bowflex in particular, you think of strength training. We've had home gyms for a while. We love new competitors that push us and push our technology there, and we give a lot of kudos to what those guys have done. But we're also bringing that to our strength portfolio as well.
I appreciate that you positively recognize your competitors in the space. Chris, what do you think about the personalized and form assessment part of it? How far off do you think we are?
Great question. I appreciate the kudos. Likewise, ours is a bit different. We have 17 points of measurement within Tonal, and all of those combined to give you great form feedback. So a lot of the competitive products on the market today are using camera equipment to look at your form that can be obscured sometimes by clothing. It has good fidelity, but we believe really what's transformative is more data, more intelligence, more points of measurement that can help us get very, very precise form feedback to you, almost as good as a personal trainer, if not better.
And the other thing, when you were talking, Jim, about the fact that even your cable company is making workout videos now, I mean, there are plenty of options out there for the person that's looking to work out on their own. You could go to your favorite fitness influencer, even if they have workout videos that they're posting on Instagram. You can have free videos on YouTube, and then there's Peloton, Lululemon, Equinox, SoulCycle, all of these are doing their home versions now. How is a consumer supposed to kind of cut through and figure out what's best for them? Because you're talking about personalized. Are you saying, I think even with personalized, there's going to be all kinds of different companies providing personalized services as well, right? So first, how is a consumer supposed to make this decision? And then secondly, how does Bowflex kind of see itself differentiating in just that space?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we think, it used to be we were a company that provided physical equipment, and that's where we competed. And we did it well, and we did it well for a long time. In the new world, essentially, we consider that consumers are going to gravitate to the very best experiences. And I'll define experiences as the equipment plus the software plus the content all together in a bundle. That's going to create a great experience. And we think people will gravitate to the experiences that they love. I wouldn't want to be just an app in the App Store providing just content. We like that we're anchored on our equipment. And that's kind of one of our first points of differentiation. When you have great equipment and it is now in connected fitness to give you the additional benefits that we've discussed, that's a big part of that. And then we're starting by really focusing on what our consumers are doing. And they're telling us, yeah, occasionally I use a live class, but more and more I want on demand. I want a lot of choice. I want multiple types of equipment, which is what we have in our portfolio. We're looking for brands that we know. We're glad that with Bowflex and Schwinn and Nautilus and now our Journey brand, these are more brands that people know, and that gives us a good competitive advantage as well. But we're very, very excited about being able to provide these types of personalized experiences for consumers.
Chris, I'm not going to ask you the same question because it feels like Tonal just exists in a bit more of a niche bubble at the moment with that personalized and 17 points of information thing. But I do want to ask you, and this I'll ask you too, Jim, later. What are some of the trends that you are seeing in the home fitness space? What are people gravitating towards?
Certainly social features, gamification, all of these things help drive engagement. The other thing that we're seeing on Tonal is a very organic and authentic interest from professional athletes. So Serena Williams is one of our original investors. We have Steph Curry, Michelle Wie in our most recent round. And we're actually bringing some of those professional athletes onto the platform and to be guest coaches and to drive content. So we think, in addition to our amazing stable of coaches that we have on the platform already, really bringing in high profile talent will help take our content to the next level.
So the idea basically that people might make the decision based on the people and the athletes that they like, almost the thing I said about the influencers. Is that right?
That's right. We have six-time Ironman world champion Mark Allen teaching strength training for triathlon. And so if you're a
Right.
triathlete looking for great content, it seems like an awesome solution for them.
If you're a triathlete, you might go with him. For me, I might try to CrossFit like Chris Hemsworth. That is definitely a trend I see people doing, is picking the people they like. Jim,
Absolutely.
what about you? Jim, what are some of the trends that you are seeing in the home fitness space?
Well, for sure, we know that there's a near-term opportunity to help displace gym goers with what they're missing at the gym. So, definitely the trend toward strength equipment, definitely having limited space and our products being able to fit in
Yeah.
limited space is a big part of it. I think, in terms of the technology, being able to track your progress when you're on the machine, when you're off the machine, increasingly Journey is covering not only those scenarios where you're on your VeloCore bike, but also when you're off your VeloCore bike doing, yoga or kickboxing or things like that. People really like variety, and the technology can do that, but yet they do want to track their fitness capabilities and progress through that. I mean, these digital dashboards are terrific ways for people to feel like they're making progress and keep them at it longer. And that's really what fitness has always been about, and that's not a new thing. It's staying engaged. It's not being grabbing onto a fad or anything like that, but it's just seeing progress, being able to stay with it. That's why we've added the entertainment. 94% of people who work out use some form of entertainment when they're working out. That's why we built it in, so that we can coach you and let you watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever you'd like.
I think that's a great point. I don't think I would be able to stay on a treadmill for too long if I wasn't watching an episode of The Walking Dead and pretending I'm running away from zombies. So I feel like that's definitely a good feature. You mentioned, though, that people like to track their fitness progress and progress towards their goals. And the way a lot of people, or at least I do that, is through my smartwatch, and I was curious, and, I'm pretty sure that at least on Bowflex's front, there has been some integration with Apple Watch and some of the other fitness watches out there already. But for both of you, and I'll start with you, Chris, what is the way you see your Tonal integrating kind of the progress and feeding that data to something like an Apple Fitness platform, like based on the Apple Watch or the Fitness app, or through Google's, I guess, Wear OS, which after this we shall not talk about anymore, or any other smartwatches out there like Fitbit and Garmin?
Great question. We have a very strong relationship with Apple. We have integrations on both the app side and also the watch side. And back to the metric, we have something like Fitbit Steps, where we have something we call the Tonal Strength Score. And that's a number that is between 1 and 1,500. And people can increase their strength score the stronger that they get on the platform. And that's something that's easy to track, very, very motivating, and something that our members love.
Is there something similar with Bowflex's products, Jim?
Yeah, we're working on the same type of thing. Some kind of fitness score. As it is today, we're tracking your typical metrics. We track, how often you work out, how long, calories burned, all those types of things. But we're definitely working on something similar that brings it all together in a very easy to understand score, so that you know that you're making progress, and that keeps you encouraged and working at it much longer.
I do want to take a moment to, and this is a very slight tangent, but take a slight tangent to think about accessibility for a minute. I mean, I just had a panel earlier today about accessibility in tech, and I think that fitness technology is something that accessibility can often be overlooked. I'll start with you, Jim. In terms of making sure your products are inclusive and accessible by people with disabilities, whether they're low vision or hard of hearing, what are some of the considerations there in terms of product design?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that we start with is the equipment itself. And because we've had this broad portfolio of different types of equipment for a long time, let's just take bikes. Most people ride an upright IC bike, but a recumbent bike is a very important model. We have step-through models that allow you to more easily get on to do that. When we're designing the UI of Journey and our digital products, we're making sure that, whether you have your glasses on or you can't see as well, that is helpful. We also do voice coaching, which is, if you do have vision issues, is a big part of it as well. So we very much try to design that into both our physical and our digital products.
Chris, how about Tonal? Do you feel that the product is accessible for people with disabilities?
It is. Because of our digital weight technology, you can actually get into position and then on the handle turn the weight on and off. And this is especially resonant with physically challenged athletes. So we're actually supporting an athlete, Travis Gardner, who's competing in the Summer Olympics in a wheelchair. And he's raving about Tonal. It's transformed his workout routine and allowed him to get in better shape. He's already a gold medalist, so we'll be rooting him on this coming summer at the Olympics, and hoping that Tonal can play a big role in his progress.
And I know maybe you're both reluctant to talk about other companies, but as a whole in the industry, what are some areas in home fitness technology, or just fitness technology even, that can tend to overlook something like accessibility, right? Like where are some of the holes you think in home fitness that might not be as inclusive in terms of design? Let's start with you this time, Chris.
Well, one of the pleasant surprises of our business has been the fact that it's 50-50 men and women. Typically, strength training has been something that's been very much a male-dominated activity. And I think because of the knowledge, because of the accessibility, because of the fact that they can do it at home, women have really fallen in love with Tonal, and it's been a pleasure to see. And closing the strength training gender gap is something that's a big strategy of ours.
What about you, Jim? What do you see as some of the areas that might be overlooked?
Well, some of the brands that you see out there and some of the newer brands start and I would do the same if I were starting a company. They start at the very top of the market. They depict their users as, absolutely perfectly cut in the $5 million condo overlooking the river in New York City. And when we talk to our customers, of course, those are not our customers. Some of those people are our customers, but they don't see themselves in those types of things. So I think when we look at the core market, I think being able to depict yourself in that scenario, there's got, advertising is a tricky thing. There's got to be enough of, I see myself in that person. So, it's not so different than I am, but there's also something aspirational in that. So, as we do our advertising and things like that, we try to be inclusive. We think some of maybe the other brands that are starting at products at $4,000 or $3,000 versus our portfolio that starts at $500, maybe, excluding a lot of the mainstream people, whether they have disabilities or just straight up people who just can't afford what some of these other brands are charging.
I really agree with you there. I think body positivity and, diverse body image is one of the issues that has been sort of growing, if not already been around for a long time. And people seem to be starting to take notice of it. And you also rightly mentioned that cost and prohibitive costs can also get in the way of accessibility a lot of the time. And so this is hopefully something that other people watching this who are in the home fitness industry may be able to pay attention to. I do want to ask both of you one last question for our panel today. Time has just flown right by. But looking ahead for both of your companies, just about the industry, what do you think are some things we can expect in 2021 in home fitness? Let's start with you, Jim.
Yeah, first of all, we believe that the market size of home fitness has doubled between 19 and sometime in 21. I mean, we've been doing our strategic planning. We're betting on inventory. We're one of the few public companies, so people can see our growth rates on an already fairly big base. So we're already seeing that, and we see really we see that continuing through 2021. As I mentioned before, when we ask people, how are your habits going to change? First, 20 to 25% of people are still telling us that even when there's a vaccine, as there is today, and I get it, I'm still not going back to my gym. So you have to meet the needs of those displaced gym goers, as I mentioned. And the rest of 75, 80% are saying, I'm going to balance it between the gym and at home in different ways. So that's an important thing to help people with. So you think about what people want from the gym, what they need, and how you go back and forth between the two and how technology can help you with that. Those are some of the problems we're really focused on because we think there's just going to be a new normal. It's not going to be just 2021, but these are These are permanent changes in the industry structure. Many more competitors, obviously, and we hope brands really matter. We believe brands will really matter as well. So those are the things we're focused on going forward.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot more competition, which means more consumer choice. Chris, what do you think? What are you excited for looking ahead to 2021 in home fitness?
I think data and intelligence is really what's going to separate the winners and the losers. I think using data wisely to improve results is at the end of the day what matters. Along with the content side, we talked about making sure that content is entertaining and it's fun and inspiring to people who want to get fit and healthier.
I love that. And I think that that's a good note to end on. It looks like, the takeaway is that in 2021, we will mostly still be at home and embracing some sort of new normal as we maybe mix home fitness and going to the gym. I want to thank you both for taking out the time to talk to us today. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Chris, for joining us.
Thank
you very much.
Yeah.
All right, and so that's it for our live program today on the CES 2021 digital stage here at Engadget. Make sure to come back tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. Eastern because we will still have another full day of content for you. And be sure to mark your calendars because tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, we will have the Best of CES Awards show. So come back and we'll see you soon.